How's everybody doing today? Hopefully I can get through this video without getting mauled. Anyways, when I was a kid, I used to love science fiction movies and horror movies. Could not get enough of them. I was an avid fan of the creature feature long before it was fashionable. Of course, every so often you get one movie that would be outstanding. And when I was a kid, I had seen the original H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. I was just amazed by this. The effects, the story, everything had me on the edge of my seat. Next day, on the school bus going to school, we're all sitting there talking about it. We were just amazed by it. Funny, I just watched a few clips from it the other day, and it's by today's standards, it might seem pretty cheesy. Anyways, shortly after World War II, as the 1950s started rolling around, there was no shortage of movies involving alien invasions. As a matter of fact, most of your sightings now started happening after World War II. The 1950s, the flying saucers got really popular. And of course, Hollywood capitalized on it. Of course, you had your classics, like The Day the Earth Stood Still. And of course, you had your B movies like Invasion of the Saucer Men. Had to see them all. But they had planted in everybody's mind what would happen if the Earth was invaded by aliens. Now, at times, let's face it, society lived much simpler lives, so it probably would have been easier to pull off a hoax. But has that ever happened? 1938, Orson Welles' Mercury Theater had done their version of the War of the Worlds. I heard the broadcast at one point. It was an older recording. And they had set it up to where it was a news broadcast. And it was done so well that millions of people in the broadcast area panicked and fled. And that had actually become a big story. In 1970, they actually had produced a movie of the week on television, The Night That Panicked America. So yes, it's possible to pull that kind of hoax. Would something like that work today? Very doubtful. We're living in a high-tech era now, and it would take something a lot more elaborate to fool the American public. In the 1980s, the first time I heard a public official actually make mention of the possibility of an alien invasion was then President Ronald Reagan, who came out and said, now this is during the era when the bad guys were the then Soviet Union and of course Iran. But several times during the course of his presidency, he says how fast the world would put their differences aside if there was a threat from outside of this earth, iterating the possibility of an alien invasion. He had made mention of it several times. Anybody who knows anything about Project Bluebeam, this actually has been in the works for a while. The very first time the shadow government had planned a mock alien invasion was actually in 1983 and several times afterwards. For some reason, that never happened. But it was already planted in society's mind, the possibility of an alien invasion. Now, what they're doing is getting society used to that possibility. You're hearing a lot more mention of it. They're kind of sensitizing everybody to accept the possibility that we have made contact. Excuse me for a second, guys. Very dehydrated today. And with the technology we have today, yes, they could stage it. If anybody is curious to see how far science has come with holographic imagery, and it actually is possible now, due to all the chemtrailing, to have holograms seen on a wide scale in the sky. And God knows what kind of technology, flying apparatuses there are now. And as far as Area 51, which to me, what happened on Facebook last month, 1 million or so people storming Area 51 to get a glimpse of these aliens Personally, I think that's a big-ass distraction, and I think it's highly stupid. If there was anything to it at all, they can't stop us all. I got news for you. Yes, they can. And I'm curious, for those people that are going to storm Area 51, what are you going to do if you get there? It's not like you're just going to open up the door and walk in. But personally, I think the whole thing is asinine. But these are things that they are getting society ready for, to accept the possibility of alien contact. See, when they initially scheduled this in the 80s and several times after, it would have been a little bit more difficult at that time for people to accept it. Face it, at that time, the bad guy was the Soviet Union and, of course, Iran. It would have been a little bit difficult at that point in time, but over the years, they have further dumbed society down. So today, the possibility, even though they would have to get elaborate, the masses would accept the possibility of this alien invasion. The reason behind it is something that President Reagan had said, how quickly the world will put their differences aside. If the deep state got the world in such a panic that they actually believed alien life forms had invaded this planet, that's very true. Everybody would put their differences aside. This is their way of instituting their one world government. Now, the masses might think that the one world government, oh, great thing, we'll all be united, we'll all be one. Basically, the same thing that Jehovah's Witnesses are praying for in their new system, this one world totalitarian government. Would it be a good thing? No, it actually would not be a good thing. But this is just one of their methods of getting everyone to accept this one world order, as ridiculous as it may seem. But yes, science does have the technology to pull this off. And whether or not they ever do it or not, I don't know. I can't say. Exactly what they will use, I don't know. Are there aliens? I can't say whether there are or not. The only evidence on this planet right now of any alien life forms is governing body member Stephen Lett. Other than that, I can't say. Personally, any alien life forms that will make contact or could make contact are completely demonic, just like the deep state. Anyways, before I go, guys, I just wanted to make some mention. If anybody is going to comment on my channel, I don't have a problem with opposing comments. However, at least stick to the content of the video. If you make a comment that's going to pull attention away from the content of the video, your comment will disappear. Batman Matrix. I'm well aware that you subscribed to my channel sometime over the weekend, and not sure why, but I'm going to save you some time. There is no way in hell you are going to talk me into ever going back to the Kingdom Hall. So I'm going to save you some steps. You stopped commenting on my channel a while ago, and you've briefly started up again. I've noticed you on several other channels. Also, do not put any links on my channel. Again, it's a distraction away from the content that I put on my channel. If you want to upload any links, I suggest you do it on your own channel. But I'm going to save you some time. No, I am never going back to the Kingdom Hall. I find that organization completely satanic, and I want no part of it. There's nothing that you or anyone else could say that's going to make me accept it. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd like to thank my subscribers. If you come across that video, hit the subscribe button, and that'll let you know when I'm out here. You guys have a good day. I'll talk to you soon.